Transcending history and the world.
Please read the disclaimer.
Swords, eternally retold. SoulCalibur II.
Hello and welcome. I'm Bio, and today we are playing another Bio classic. This time around, it is SoulCalibur II for the Nintendo GameCube, a game that I hold very, very close to my heart, and it's probably my favorite SoulCalibur, if I'm honest with you, in terms of combat anyway. Because my favorite SoulCalibur in terms of story is SoulCalibur 3, because I used to like the story mode in SoulCalibur 3 and how your created character had their own story mode. It's quite in-depth. I would say it's even better than the recent SoulCalibur 6 story mode, in my opinion, because you had your own like CGI cutscenes for your own character, which you do get in number 6, but number 6 is just like it's very limited. Most of it's just is a JPEG and here's some text kind of jazz, which is not great. Could be better. But in terms of combat, my favorite would be SoulCalibur 2. And which version of SoulCalibur 2? Well, I only had one version of SoulCalibur 2 when I was a kid, and that was the GameCube version. I didn't have the PlayStation 2 or original Xbox. I didn't even have an original Xbox as a kid. The PS2 version had, all three versions had a special console exclusive character who was playable. For the PlayStation 2, you had Heihachi from Tekken. For the original Xbox, you had Spawn, which Seth MacFarlane. Is it Seth MacFarlane? Is it Todd McFarlane? Seth MacFarlane. That's the Family Guy creator. Todd McFarlane. Like comic book character Spawn, which is a bit random, but yeah, he was a playable character in the original Xbox version, which I like Spawn. You know, I know Spawn more for the 90s live action film, which I actually quite enjoyed when I was younger, than anything else. And then for the GameCube, you had the boy himself, Link from Legend of Zelda, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, SoulCalibur as a series, it's like Tekken, it's like Street Fighter, it's a 3D fighter basically. No, we're not doing time attack. Guess it can't do versus mode because of course the versus mode has to be the type of versus mode where it requires a second controller and you can't do versus CPU. I think that probably came into place in SoulCalibur 3. So, but as you can see, you know, we've got some of the characters unlocked. Luckily, we can play as Link, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play as Link. So we have to, you know, he had some interesting characters like Necrid. Necrid was a character that was actually created by Todd McFarlane for SoulCalibur II, and he was featured in all 3 games. But he never made an appearance again after this, which is surprising. His moveset's a little bit weird, but he was okay. You know. But you got some fan favorites: Young Sung, Cassandra, of course, you know, Talim, Killick, Jinhua, Ivy, of course. And obviously you got TAKI and Raphael. There's Voldo, Astaroth, Nightmare. Yeah, got some good characters. I'm gonna play as Link. You see, you got some unlockable characters, but like I said, I've explained this before. For some reason, the virtual memory cards I have for the Dolphin emulator are corrupted, and it won't let me, even if I like download a new memory card from somewhere, it just won't let me use it for some reason. And that's with all versions of Dolphin. I've downloaded multiple versions of Dolphin and experimented it. I don't know why. I'd prefer if it had a similar save system that Wii games have for Dolphin, which is just import the save directly instead of having to do the stupid memory card manager. But whatever. It's neither here nor there. But okay, let's get into a battle. I'm going to do Link. Well, we're going up against Talim. Do a bit of arcade. She rides the wind. Link was actually a pretty... I think actually Link wasn't Link like the best character? To try and remember the moves. Oh, pretty easy. We're already in the first. So unlike like, well, she's kicking my ass this time. Link, what are you doing? He just like slided off, like he was going sayonara. I'm leaving. Yeah, the controls are not what I expected. There we go. Well, it's normally B and A. Oh no, yeah, of course. It's not B and A, it's I know what I'm saying. There we go. She's dead. I have to look at the controllers. So normally, like in the later games, you'd press X and A to do a grab, but it's not. You have to do B and Y for the grab. Like, I'm more familiar with SoulCalibur 6's control scheme now, because it's the most recent SoulCalibur I've played, than I am with number 2. Now we're going up against Killick. It's like the A button is normally block, but in this case it's the B button. And there you go. Goodbye, Killick. Go back to the Shadow Realm. But it was so cool at the time to be able to play Link. You know, this was back when Nintendo didn't really do their crossover games. Oh, thanks, Killick. Fucking knocking me off this stage. How dare you? Well, I played so much of this when I was a kid. So much SoulCalibur 2. Would I say it's the SoulCalibur I played the most of? Depends. I don't know. And we got perfect from that. Oh, didn't even notice. Yeah! Alright. Let's have a go at a different character. Unfortunately, this is how we have to play. We have to do arcade mode. Do a couple of battles and then go back to the main menu to do another one. I'm going to play as TAKI, because I used to play as TAKI quite a lot. For various reasons. You could probably figure out why. You can probably figure out why. Hey, I'm just saying. You just keep attacking him after they're already dead. But like I said, you can pretty much figure out why people played as TAKI. Especially when you were a kid, you just how it is. It was for the the airbags, as you could say. Just keep killing her. Deary me. But the thing is, because you can quite clearly see certain something, can't you? And most games wouldn't even define them. They wouldn't even add them on there. But yep, TAKI has them. You know what I'm talking about. Begins with the N. Oh, I'm just gonna say it. It's nips. She got the nips. That's the reason why. Deary me. Oh, Astaroth with his alternate costume. It's like fucking bunny looking like a... Well, he's meant to be looking like a executioner, isn't he? That's the whole entire shtick. But yeah, you had a lot of different modes you could play with, you know, time attack, survival, team battle, versus... And obviously, Weapon Master was the, like, the story mode. Can't really remember what the story mode was like. But yeah, I remember enjoying it. We'll do one more character play. Let's do MAXI. MAXI was normally the other one I used to play as. Watcha! The game looks really nice in the Dolphin emulator. This is what I don't understand, right? With companies, right? It's like Namco. You do realize you could re-release this game. You did a HD version for like, didn't they do like a HD version for the 360 for Xbox Live Arcade? And they did the same with the original SoulCalibur, and I'm like, people would play the shit out of this. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think you could include... I think if you did a version, it would have to be the one with Heihachi, because you own Heihachi. So you'd have to do the PlayStation 2 version. You wouldn't be able to do any other version. Because you wouldn't be able to include Link or Spawn as playable characters again. Yeah. But then, they could do that. I just... Like, I can play this and it's like, it's so fluid, it's so nice. You don't even need to know how to do the combos to pull off a decent combo. It's just so nice. Like, I can't play Street Fighter. Like, this is probably the reason why I enjoyed SoulCalibur so much and I played them. Is because they were so easy. They were easy to play, but hard to master. And I can live with that. I can deal with that. Whereas with Tekken and Street Fighter, it was more of like... It was difficult. With Tekken and Street Fighter, it was more on the terms of button mashing, combo remembering, I'm getting carpal tunnel kind of jazz. Yeah, that's what the type of games are. You had to memorize combos and do shit like that. It's another reason why I couldn't get into Mortal Kombat. Could never do the fatalities. Any of them. So it was just too much. I couldn't do it fast enough. Always getting with the grab. There we go. Oh, Voldo comes back again. Alright. I think we'll call it there. It's nice to play a bit of SoulCalibur. Bit of SoulCalibur 2. But yeah, a lot of people consider SoulCalibur 2 to be the best SoulCalibur. I don't know if I would consider it to be the best. Each SoulCalibur has its strengths and weaknesses. Most people would contest that the worst SoulCalibur game is number 5, and I would probably agree with that. Besides obviously the original SoulCalibur. Well, just saying that. Don't know, you got Soul Blade as well, haven't you? So, but most people would say that the worst game in the series is probably SoulCalibur 5 for various reasons. They just tried to like get rid of all the mainstay characters and introduce a bunch of new characters that no one cared about, which were just basically like imitations of already existing characters, which a lot of people just didn't like. But I spent a lot of time with I had Soul Blade as a kid, but I didn't really put much time into it. Soul Calibur I didn't have because it was obviously on the Dreamcast, and I never had a Dreamcast as a kid. But so Soul Calibur 2 was the game where I played it a lot for the first time. And then 3 had the story mode, which I really liked. 4 was pretty good. I enjoyed 4. I put a lot of hours into 4. I ended up filling all 50. Is it 50? I think it was. Character creation slots on Soul Calibur 4, and I'm not joking. I filled all 50 of them. Soul Calibur 5, I didn't really think much of for the same reasons that most people didn't. And yeah, a lot of people have issues with 6, but I enjoyed 6, you know. But yeah, that's Soul Calibur 2, a game I consider to be a classic. A lot of people would consider it to be a classic as well. I just wanted an excuse to have a little go on Soul Calibur 2 again, really. But that's what this series is, mainly. Just retreading familiar ground from games you enjoyed when you were a kid. But anyway, I've been Bio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again. Goodbye.